So look, the Premier League's back, and it feels like it was only a week or two ago I was doing a preview for Southampton. Was it our last game? But look, it's Man United away this time. Different game, different kind of ball game. Totally going to be difficult. I don't care what anyone says. First day of the season, sun's out. United fans are mad. You know what it's going to be like. It's Arsenal as well, the long-standing rivals, especially the Sesko and Gyökeres rivalry now. Look, it's going to be a huge game, so we're going to get into the preview like we normally do. So look, it's been a good reset. It's been a good time to rest, get some needed rest, I should say, because a lot of our players, they've not been in any tournament. Well, none of our players have been in any tournaments like the Club World Cup and stuff like that. There's been no international games, so the likes of Saka, Odegaard, and stuff like that, they've had a full rest. It's time to focus now, though, and it's time to get points, and more points on the board. So look, it's back. The Premier League's back. By the time we play this, most of the teams would have already played. Liverpool would have played. City would have played. Newcastle, Villa, I believe, Chelsea. So this is going to be like the most anticipated game of the weekend, and they've done it on purpose. Obviously, they want to get the views in, don't they, on the first day of the weekend. Man United away. Look, there's one way or another, there's going to be tears. There's going to be tears one way or another. So look, in terms of news, Gyökeres we've got in. Transfers, we've had a good window. We've obviously not added another attacker that we thought we would have, like Eze, and look, he could be going to one of our rivals. And the expectations this season is to win the league and at least get into the quarters or the semis in the Champions League, or win that as well, or win one or the other. If we win one or the other, I'll be satisfied. We win none, and we win like an FA Cup or a Carabao Cup, yes, it's a trophy in the cabinet, but it's not good enough. It's not good enough. If we lose the league by 1 point, then yeah, fair enough. But look, we need to get the big ones now. We need the Premier League and we need the Champions League. There's no excuses anymore. We've got a proven goal scorer. We've got a team that's gelled together. A lot of players are in the peak of the powers now. Havertz and Odegaard, players like that. They're built for the Premier League now. They're used to the physicality. It's going to be a huge game, and Saka's going to be released on that right because now he's got somebody to aim for. So, yeah, let's get into Man United. So, Man United, for me, they've had a brilliant transfer window. For me personally, and I believe a lot of fans generically, they did not anticipate that Man United would have a transfer window like this. Yes, they got Cunha and then it went a bit quiet, but then they managed to get Mbeumo over the line, who's a proven goal scorer, top player, and then they got Benjamin Sesko. They're looking to get Baleba as well if they can get a few pounds for the likes of Garnacho, Sancho, Antony, a few players like that. If Casemiro goes, look, they've had a good transfer window and they're building for the future. All the players that they've got are under 25, I believe. And the top players, there's nothing else to say about that. The top players, they are. And it's going to be one of them where they just don't gel together on the first day and we take advantage of that. Or they just click and they just put on a show for the fans. It's going to be like that. Look, Man United finished about 16th, 17th. They lost the Europa League final. They're down financially, but they've managed to pull out a few signings. Man United will always be Man United still, historically. Yes, their last season, they're going to see it as a blip, and this is a new season. What happened last season stays there. This is a new season, new chapter, so let's bring it on. That's the mentality Man United should have, and that's the mentality Amorim should be passing on to his players in the changing room and passing that on into the atmosphere at Old Trafford. Hopefully, it's not. Obviously, for Arsenal's sake. So yeah, that's Man United really. They've had a good transfer window, and this is the real test now for Amorim. By October, November, he can't be sitting in 12th, 13th position. So the head-to-head then, look, we've only lost the last 2 of the 8 Premier League games that we've played against Man United. So the last one obviously was a draw. And look, if you looked at our up front that we had Mikel Merino up front, Nwaneri on the right, and I believe Trossard on the left. It was a makeshift midfield and the defence as well. And we managed to pull out a draw, and then we come out at the end of it getting stick for it, even though it's at Old Trafford. Look, we was down and under. We had a lot of injuries, and for me, getting a draw at Old Trafford any time of the season, any season is a good result. Obviously, you want to get the wins because those are the ones that gets you the points. We've won a couple of times there over the last few seasons as well. And look, we're unbeaten against Man United in like 5-6 games now in the Premier League. Forget the FA Cup that we lost on penalties. It's all about the Premier League. We've won the last 4 in a row against them before that draw as well. So let's keep that winning momentum against the so-called top 6 clubs, because we've not lost against them for 2 seasons now, which is absolutely crazy. It's unbelievable to think we've not lost against like City, Chelsea, Liverpool, United, Spurs for like 2 whole seasons, and now we've got a chance to build on that, and we hopefully try and get the 3 points that we need. The head-to-head recently, like I said, it's looking good. If you look more historically into that, obviously, it's not been great. But Man United, in the most recent of times, we are a lot better than Man United. And we should hopefully get at least a minimum draw. I can understand if we get a draw because it's the first game of the season. You don't know what to expect. If we get a win, it's fucking massive. It's unbelievable if we get a win there on Sunday. Now, the lineup for me, it's going to be pretty straightforward. I'm going to put David Raya in net. Speaks for itself. Now, we're going to start from right to left. Now, Timber obviously has just come back. He's had a couple of games where he's played quite a few minutes here and there. But Ben White's been looking good in pre-season as well. I want to start Timber, but I'm going to give this game to Ben White just because he's had more time in pre-season and he looks more ready. And that link up with Saka looks to be back. And hopefully it gets to its best. In the centre-back position, William Saliba plays, and hopefully he's going to have a massive season. Last season was one of his poorer seasons. He's allowed that. Hopefully this season is completely the opposite. And then to partner him, it's got to be Gabriel. I know he's played a bit, but we just can't put Kiwior there against Man United. Gabriel's got to start. I know he's not 100%, but he played. In fact, I think he did play a lot of the last game was at Athletic Club. Or at least half of that game. I'm going to go for Gabriel. I'm going to take that risk. Mosquera, for me, he looks amazing, but it's a big game. First game of the season. On the left, I'm going to probably put Calafiori over Lewis Skelly. Lewis Skelly's been exposed a bit this pre-season just because of the way that we've lined up and been transitioning once we've not got the ball and the opponents are on the counter. Lewis Skelly's been exposed quite a bit. He's been caught one-on-one a lot of times. And let's not forget his natural position is a midfielder. So I'm going to start Calafiori. He's looked great in pre-season. Hopefully he's fully fit. Because for me, you know what? I can't remember if he played the last game against Athletic Club. But let's say he did. I'm going to put Calafiori. Fucking hell, I can't even remember what's been going on in that Athletic Club game. So much has happened since then, man. So look, Zubimendi starts in midfield, Declan Rice and Odegaard. Let's not say much more about that. On the right, Saka starts. On the left, who do we put? Martinelli or Trossard or Madueke? I think Madueke has to start. Yeah, I think Madueke has to start, but just because it's the first game of the season and Martinelli's been there before and done it with Saka and the likes of the team, I'm going to put Martinelli, and then I'm going to put, is it Havertz or Gyökeres? Theo Walcott had a good point to say about Havertz may start this game. If you've not looked at what Walcott said, have a look at that. Some interesting points about it. But for me, Havertz looks great. That goal that he scored, that pace that he's found, he needs to basically bring his game to the next level now. But for me, I have to start Gyökeres. We paid the big money for him. We've got him in to score the goals. I would like to see Havertz start and then Gyökeres come on for the last half an hour as well. That's an idea. Just ease him in. So, yeah, you know what? It is a difficult one. It is a very difficult one. But who should I go for, man? Because it's fucking hard. It's a hard decision. Everyone's going to just say Gyökeres. I'm going to go with Havertz. and then Gyökeres come on in the second half. I think that's fair. Lastly, the result, the prediction. Now, a lot of people are going to be thinking it's the first game of the season. They're going to be going wild with their predictions, like 3 goals, 4 goals, because of the Gyökeres and Sesko. And me, personally, I don't think it's going to live up to the expectations. I really don't. It never does when these games get built up. So for me, I'm going to go for a sneaky 1-0 win to Arsenal. I'm going to go for a sneaky 1-0 win to Arsenal. And I think that should be enough to do the job. Because no matter what happens, we never really go to Old Trafford and batter them, no matter what form they're in and what form we're in. 1-0, I'll take that all day long. Take the 3 points, go back to London and prepare for, is it Leeds United? Yeah. So let me know what your predictions are. And that's it, basically. So that's the preview, the first preview of the season. And let's hopefully just keep on winning these football matches. So I'll catch you on the next one. See you in a bit.